going on, everybody? I'm Jacqui, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
We are continuing on our journey with MK11. I thought it was finished, but then a lot of people reminded me in the comments, no, Jabby, you have more to do. We have all characters' endings from MK11 DLC included from MK Fire. I think I've been saying the name backwards this entire time. MK Ice and Fire. There's a link in the description below if you'd rather watch the video without our reaction, or you want to give the original upvote and subscribe to them. Links in the description below. And please let us know in the comments what Mortal Kombat content you'd like us to watch. I know a number of you were suggesting some of the animated films like Scorpion and something like that. I took screen grabs, but anything you'd like us to check out with relation to Mortal Kombat, please comment below and let us know. And I see that not as many people are interested in Legacy.
I wonder why.
So we'll condense it all down into like a few videos instead of releasing it 2 episodes at a time. Maybe we'll do like 1 or 2 more videos covering the rest of the season for Mortal Kombat Legacy, for those of you that are still interested in it. And so, anyway, moving forward here, Mortal Kombat 11, all characters endings. Thank you, MK Ice and Fire. And subscribe, please, bell icon, all notifications, vote this up. Here we go.
OCP built me to serve the public trust, protect the innocent, and uphold the law. So when I found Kano dealing arms to old Detroit's gangs, I had one duty: apprehend him. I never thought the chase would take me to a different universe, let alone end in a fight with Kano's protector, Kronika. And when Kronika went down, something unexpected happened. Her power washed over me, sweeping away the limits my designers had put
Got an
on
upgrade.
my programming. For the first time, I saw the depth of OCP's corruption. It wasn't just a couple of greedy executives. It was the whole damned company.
Take him down.
OCP is making a killing playing both sides, selling to cops and criminals. When I get home, I am bringing them to justice. It will not be fast or easy. OCP has too much cash and too much firepower for me to clean things up alone. It is a good thing this will be an interagency effort.
Nice.
Welcome to the future of law enforcement.
Does anybody know if he actually voiced it himself?
It was an epic accident that
Like the
brought the
original
Terminator
RoboCop?
here, rather than to his own Earth's past. But it didn't take long for him to adapt. He figured that terminating Kronika and taking her hourglass gave him the best chance at achieving his mission objective: destroying humanity so that the machines prevail. Turns out the hourglass wasn't the ultimate weapon. No matter how many times the Terminator rebooted history, the war between humans and the machines always ended the same, with their mutual destruction. He realized this war was a losing game. The only way to win was not to play.
Okay.
So the Terminator used the hourglass to build a future where machines and humans don't fight. They cooperate. The Terminator knew that to preserve this future, no one else could learn about the hourglass. The information stored in his machine mind was dangerous.
Oh.
It had to be eliminated.
Oh, self-destruction.
That's why the Terminator threw himself
No,
into the infinite depths of the sea of blood.
Do it.
No one would ever find him
Do
or
it.
unlock the hourglass's secrets.
Oh, they missed a trick.
If you could ask him about it, he'd tell you he made the only logical choice. But in my book, that machine's a hero.
I snuffed out every devil in hell.
Oh, what?
Until Netherrealm invaders showed up to piss me off. It would have cost a lot of power fighting them alone. But they were being hunted by my new friends.
I know that voice.
Call them Fire and Ice. They argue constantly, which is why I usually like to roll solo. But when it comes to killing demonic assholes, these guys don't flinch.
Yeah, because they're badass.
I can get along with that. The Grandmasters tipped me off to Kronika. Said she was resurrecting some Netherrealm god named Shinnok. But that's not happening on my watch. Kronika's just as much a devil as Malvosia. Both make promises, both tell lies.
Whoa.
Both underestimate me. That's why I'll make a new hell for them. where they can burn together for eternity.
That is scary looking.
The Netherrealm's locked down, but there's still 8 hells left to purge. It's time to bring up the reserves. I made choices in my life that sealed my fate. I'm beyond redemption.
That's a great voice.
But even the damned are capable of doing some good. So all you devils out there, making false promises and spewing lies, we're coming. And you don't have a chance in hell.
He's from
This
Requiem
was
for a
my
Dream.
dream vacation.
Oh.
I saw
Armageddon.
mayhem, mutilation. It was all a gas.
Oh, you mean the
For a
voice,
while.
not the character?
Yeah.
But these nincompoops, they didn't really get me. Not even that pretty boy, Ninja Mime. Good night, sweet prince. I'd finished just about everyone worth finishing in Earthrealm and Outworld, even lovable old Netherrealm. I was a lonely heart in search of new friends. But as luck would have
Oh,
it,
wow, he got
I
everyone.
had just the gizmo to find them. And oh, the hourglass spoiled me. Havoc and I are going to be bosom buddies. And what's that? My new pal knows an entire realm devoted to law and order, and he exists solely to disrupt it. Well, I say, he and I need to get busy. Meet the League of Misunderstood Maniacs. We're giving Order Realm an enema. And when we're done, who knows where we'll crash next? Maybe we'll come to your house and slip live grenades under your pillow. Maybe we'll gut your favorite pet. Or maybe we'll just break your TV right now.
Yeah, the voice of Spawn is he's the actor from Requiem for a Dream and Armageddon. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I think he's in a classic film from the 80s called They Live or something, or They See, or it's where they have to wear these glasses to see like the undead who are posing as regular people or something. I don't.
Oh, how
it's
cool.
been so long since I've watched the movie. I don't really remember what those people are that appear as skeletons when you put the glasses on. It's a classic film from the 80s.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Once you see his face, you're gonna be like, oh, I know what that is. You know, he's one of those guys.
But I didn't even know who the character was.
Spawn?
Spawn.
Yeah, he's been around a long time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had a movie, and I think Michael J. White was the star of that movie. Oh. Yeah. I don't think it was a good movie because it didn't. No one talks about it anymore. So.
Once I gained the hourglass, my first thought was to rewrite history and redeem the Lin Kuei's honor. But then I thought of Bihan, his life consumed by evil. Before I could redeem my clan, I had to redeem my brother. With the hourglass, I wound back time to our childhood.
Oh.
I studied every second of Bihan's life to understand why he embraced Sector's corruption, why he reveled in the vile power given to him by Quan Chi.
Interesting. Did you
Armed
come
with
to
that
any
knowledge,
understanding?
I resculpted the sands of time. I changed Bihan's life and unfroze his heart.
Wow.
Now we are comrades, not rivals. Together, as joint Grand Masters, we lead the Lin Kuei in defense of Earthrealm.
It seems so interesting that with all that power.
Kronika's power overwhelmed me, such that I would have been driven mad had I not spent centuries mastering the dark powers beyond the grasp of ordinary mortals. Now, I am the master of time and fate. But Kronika's fall proves that even titans can be defeated. Though my new power lets me roam infinite timelines and feast upon the souls of billions, I am vulnerable.
Why?
To
Because
survive, I must return to the shadows, avoid confrontation, and work my will through the hands of others.
that's smart. Because if he can take down a Titan,
More
then someone can
specifically,
take him
through the
down.
hands of my fellow Titans.
Oh.
These monstrous beings are plied easily by appealing to their greed, vanity, and fear. Through them, every soul in eternity bends to my influence. In my new era, morality will be exposed as the illusion it is. The cunning will prosper, while the good suffer.
Is that not already
This
kind of
is
reality?
the word of Shang Tsung. Have a nice day.
Before I was Nightwolf, I was a fool named Greycloud. Born into poverty, I resented my ancestors for giving up our future to colonizers. Kano offered a way out, promising riches if I stole my tribe's most sacred relics. I was sorely tempted. But then I realized that by saving myself, I'd be surrendering the last of my people's dignity. For the first time, I defended the Matoka's pride. Kano was unimpressed. But as I lay dying, the Great Spirit came to me. By rejecting Kano, I had proven worthy of an ancient honor. The mantle of Nightwolf, legendary defender of the Matoka.
That is cool.
Now, as I inherit Kronika's mantle, the way before me is split. The Keeper of Time cannot also be my tribe's defender. Which path do I choose? Even here, at time's beginning, the Great Spirit's wisdom guides me. She calls me to restore history. The Matoka, I must leave to another. To the next Nightwolf. Like all our sacred relics, the Nightwolf mantle belongs to the tribe. Any Matokan can prove worthy of its power. I enjoy imagining who will defend us next.
That is cool. Well, he wasn't kidding when he said, like, you know,
in the
you
beginning,
can't kill the Nightwolf.
Shao
really.
Kahn invaded Adinia, murdered my husband Jared, and forced me to be his bride. That's the story.
Okay.
But it's a lie.
Apparently a lot of people ran.
Yeah.
I told, lest I lose the faith of my subjects, or of my daughter, Kitana.
It's a red. It's a red. Yeah, it's a retcon.
Yeah.
Jared was weak, destined to fail. By betraying him, I gained a better lover, and the ultimate weapon. A conqueror to unite all realms, and put them at my beck and call. Then, Kronika upended history, and I found myself confronting a future in which I had been dead for centuries. My so-called family had failed me in every way. Kitana broke my heart worst.
Do you even have
Instead
one?
of uniting the realms, she sought to liberate them. As if the wasteland savages could ever be more than serfs.
Oh.
Caring mother, I had to discipline my little princess. And after that, I had to discipline a titan. Now, I have defeated Kronika.
Wow.
Shao Kahn and Kitana. I have no more family. No more rivals.
Why does that tickle you
I
so
don't
much?
know. The idea that Shao Kahn's been reduced to her fan slave is kind of amazing.
That unites all realms and all realities.
She's like, your will bow down to me.
Wherever you are, when you are before me, kneel. For I am Sindel, Empress of Time, and you exist only to serve me.
She could tell me that anyway.
A lifetime of fighting prepared me to conquer Kronika. But as the Keeper of Time, I must be a creator, not a conqueror. I thought of the many sons and daughters I've lost in battle through the years. Imagined a better destiny for my kin. A history where the Shokan build rather than destroy. The results were catastrophic.
Oh, dear.
Comfort and ease extinguished the dragon's fire that once lit the heart of every Shokan. They became weak, corrupted fools. The timeline had to start again. War, for all its tragedies, is the forge of Shokan will.
That's interesting.
My people will fight. Many will die. but I will lead us to victory. And in the aftermath, the dragon's fire will blaze in Shokan hearts for eternity.
This brought up an interesting thing, because I was wondering why, with all that power, you would reignite the same exact history again, the same exact timeline again. When you have that sort of Carl Sagan perspective on things, a speck on a mote of dust, or whatever he said, a pale blue dot on a mote of dust, suspended in space. It's like, when you look at things from that perspective, why would you restart history exactly the same? And this kind of helped answer it for me, in that, and they kind of brought this up a little bit through the Mortal Kombat lore, which is there always needs to be conflict. That's just inherent to the universe. It's the balance of things.
Yeah, it's the balance of things. It's human nature as well. Like,
or just nature in general.
Yeah, exactly. However far you go back in history, there's always conflict, and sometimes, it can be the mother of many great creations, but also it causes a lot of death and destruction. But then, sometimes maybe you could even look at it in the way of, like, I don't want to go into it because then people will be like, "Rah!" But yeah.
I have no idea what you were alluding to.
Well, I was just alluding to the fact that if you really think about balance, it could just be Earth or Mother Nature's way of just keeping us in check. Because once there's too many of us, or we start to get too wild and crazy, then like a war comes along and it's like, boom, population control.
Sure.
Natural disaster. Boom.
Well, an element of this also that was interesting was the idea that she created a heaven, an Eden, a Garden of Eden, and it all went to shit. And there was a rat experiment that did the same thing. You can look it up, where there was like a rat heaven, and it all went to shit after 2 years. They all died off. And in the Matrix Reloaded, the architect talked about how he made the perfect Matrix, and it was rejected, and it all went to shit. And it's like, it's very fascinating that you can have a perfect world where you have everything you could possibly need, and it goes to crap.
Just like, look at the Bible.
Yeah. And
we literally fell out of the Garden of Eden.
As the new keeper of time, I was overwhelmed by my responsibilities. Who was I to design the destinies of mortals? As their protector, I had spent eons safeguarding them. But while I had grown to appreciate mortals deeply, I understood precious little about their daily existence.
So what are you going to do about it?
So I used the hourglass to live hundreds of thousands of lifetimes.
That's smart.
Expand the possibilities of realm, race, gender, and faith. Most importantly, I learned the simple joy of ending each day in a warm embrace of family. Humbled by my new wisdom, I bend the arc of history, not to my will, but to the service of those who must live it.
It's like a Mortal
While
Kombat
it is
Last
beyond
Supper.
my power to guarantee outcomes, I will give mortals the chance to have better, more peaceful lives.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I made my future self a promise that I would not stay mired in the past. But once I controlled the hourglass, I could not keep it.
Classic Scorpion.
I had to restore my family.
Of course you did.
Typical.
But let me guess.
Over and over, I crafted the sands of time. Yet in every new timeline, my family's tragedy repeated. I was powerless to change it. After eons, I learned the truth. Kronika was not alone. She was one of many titans, each more powerful and ancient than the Elder Gods.
Wow.
It is they who conspire against us.
He just needs someone to hate.
Myself, my family, we are pawns in their game. Why? I do not know. But I will find out. And then I will have vengeance.
Bigger and bigger.
What does it mean to wield the sands of time? To be the chosen one? It means making choices that break your heart.
Yeah, it can't be easy.
For the protection of all, I shared Kronika's power with the people I trust and love most.
Interesting.
Together, we replaced the elder gods that Cetrion had betrayed and became eternal guardians of the realms. Still,
But did they become...
My heart longs for a simpler life. The kind one cannot have being the chosen one, let alone an elder god. What Kitana and I would not give for those simple pleasures. Perhaps in another timeline, it could be ours.
Aww.
That's confusing.
Why?
I guess because they're keeping it vague. They're not really telling us what his responsibilities are. And
well,
so
he's
an elder god, but like, what do they do? But just like
safeguarding the lives of mortals and keeping the balance in check. That's a big responsibility, you know?
I see the elder gods like the Supreme Court. It's like they just show up whenever they're like, there's a huge enough case they got to deal with.
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering
You know?
about them becoming like elder gods. Like, would they eventually just kind of become apathetic?
When you're in that kind of a situation, because it's vague and I don't know what he's up to all day long, you know, well, I guess it's time to go check on those, you know, space chickens or whatever it is. You know, I don't know what he's doing. Without that information, it would seem to me that he could lead a peaceful life, you know, concurrently with Kitana, you know. But it's still an interesting idea, you know, the idea that Liu Kang has ascended to such a place, and it's like, now what? Like, I have to do all this all the time, checking on the space chickens. I just wish I could.
I wish I could, in
You know?
every lifetime, I'd want to do taxes with you.
Kronika had manipulated me. In timeline after timeline, she stoked my anger and fed my arrogance, turning me against Liu Kang. My nose rubbed in my own fallibility. I was humbled. How could I be worthy to accept the mantle as keeper of time?
He's got quite the arc, huh?
Yeah.
I thought that to control time and destiny fairly, I must purge myself of all human emotion. Summoning the strongest magic, I burned away my fear and anger. All that remained was pure logic.
Was that the right
But I
thing to
learned
do?
quickly that the logical choice is often not the just choice.
Yeah.
Unless tempered by compassion and heart. Logic leads to decisions no better than those based on anger or fear. Now I am once more at time's beginning. But on this journey through history, I will infuse logic with love.
Aww.
In this timeline, I will finally achieve peace for the citizens of all realms.
But then what happens?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Oh, okay.
War will come again.
Yeah.
This whole adventure, capital I insane. I marry Sonya? I have a kid who actually likes me? Inquiring minds want to know how the hell that happens.
I like his voice.
So I get the hourglass to show me how kicking Shinnok's ass, which I did beautifully, turned me from Hollywood megastar into global icon. So far, so good. Until I let that fame screw me up. Didn't hit rock bottom until I saw just how badly I'd let down my little girl.
Smoking next
I
to her.
finally got what old man me was saying about needing humility and maturity. But I also knew I couldn't get there without living the same life he did. So, I restored the timeline just as it was. With one tiny little difference. Sonya's story won't end underneath the rubble of some busted-up Netherrealm castle.
Aww.
Because Johnny Cage flicks always have happy endings.
Fuckle. That's cute, but that's true conceptually. You know, like sometimes those experiences make us. You know. That's
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing with parenting, is that, you know, you try so hard to steer your kids. That sounds weird. Your kids in the right direction, and you're like, no, don't. But then, like, sometimes your kid only learns by sticking their damn finger in the electric socket, and they're like, oh, that hurts. Exactly. That's why I've been telling you not to do that shit. And so it's like sometimes the only way is for them to learn through some form of pain or punishment that is self-inflicted, and hopefully it's not permanent.
Oh yeah, or it's just called living life. You know, you learn.
Kronika said I would lead the new era's deadliest clan, but she made such promises to many, she could never keep them all.
Whoa.
So I betrayed her before she could betray me. When Kronika Sands fused with my shadows, my ambitions grew.
Oh gosh.
Why be a ruler of mortals when I could rule destiny itself? Mortals resisted, but could not stop my blanketing history in cold, endless night. All is dark. All are shadows. I have had many names. Now I am become death, destroyer of worlds.
Sounds like a really pleasant aftermath.
Ooh.
I conquered history like I conquered realms, merging billions of potential timelines into a singularity. The universe has been remade in my image, and all is as it should be. The weak serve the strong. The strong compete for power, wealth, and my favor in Mortal Kombat. For centuries, the tournament's champion has gone undefeated. That champion is me! Hail the conqueror!
Shao Kahn is becoming... He's becoming more and more like Bowser to me. At one point, Shao Kahn scared the shit out of me.
Of course I defeated Kronika. And when I did, there was only one thing I wanted to do with the hourglass. Undo the defeat of my ancestor, the Great Kung Lao.
Oh.
In my timeline, the Great Kung Lao is the undisputed Mortal Kombat champion. Earthrealm never loses another tournament. For generations, his example inspires millions to join the White Lotus Society and defend Earthrealm. They in turn inspire rebels to overthrow Shao Kahn in Outworld. The realms make peace. Until, inevitably, a more powerful enemy comes along. And finds Earthrealm backed by Kung Lao, immortal lord of time and warrior supreme. Beat that, Liu Kang.
None of us saw Kronika coming, not even Raiden. But with the hourglass, I can see every terror in the realms. Any sane person would run screaming at the sight of them. It's my duty to take out these ancient, all-powerful beings. But to do that, I need an elite squad of immortal gods. Turns out, to make a new god, you've got to destroy an old one. So I hunt the oldest I can find, an omni deity from a forgotten, unpronounceably named realm. It's the fight of my life, but I've got something this god doesn't. Family. In my past, these were the people who mattered most. Now, they're my god squad.
The god squad.
My daughter, my brother in arms, my goddaughter. Yep, even Johnny.
Wow.
But only because Cassie insisted. And maybe I missed him a little. Just don't let him know that.
That right there is everything. It just sounds like something you'd hear at some kind of like church in LA, like a mosaic or something.
Yeah, it's like, I don't have a glam squad. I have a god squad.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, no.
It sounds like such a Christian name, a god squad.
Yeah. I didn't really mind Ronda Rousey's voiceover in the game when she was just doing some dialogue, but you really hear the difference between like profesh voiceover artists and then, you know, someone like her coming in and doing it.
Look, man, you got to make that cheddar while you can. And
no, I agree. I agree.
She agreed to do something because they asked her to. She's like, okay,
sound cool.
It's not my forte, but if you want to pay me to do it, I'll do it. And I would too if I was her.
How hard can it be to read lines?
Yeah.
Of all his daughters, Shao Kahn made me.
I have no idea who this lady is.
Who are you?
He pulled me from the gut.
Oh, Scarlet.
Yeah, no, but like, I don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
Fight for recognition. Perhaps he will commend me.
I only learned now that,
when I
you know,
bind the blood
how she's related.
code to the sands of time. Now a blood god. I demand more than Shao Kahn's recognition. I demand worship. I'll have temples, ministers, acolytes, prayers.
Wow.
And sacrifices. Rivers of blood shed in my name, purging heretics who dare to reject me.
It's an interesting accent.
Yeah.
How proud Shao Kahn is now. How proud and how obedient. For the only thing better than my master's recognition is to make him beg for mine.
Wow, all the women really have a chip on their shoulder, eh?
Or there will be blood.
Worship me! Love me!
What is that accent?
Though I first denied their truth, eventually I realized the wisdom of Liu Kang's
Oh, you
words.
could play as her?
There is
That's cool.
virtue greater than my mother's desired balance. Good must be allowed to flourish.
How many playable characters are in this game?
No matter how I reshaped time, rooting out evil proved impossible. Though freed from want, mortals still killed each other. Divided by realm and race, they easily justified their hate. Hubris, greed, envy. To appreciate my gifts, mortal sins must be cleansed. Which is why I baptize the realms with fire. For eons, mortals will battle evil, eventually achieving victory. And when they emerge from the darkness, they will be humbled, eager to embrace the light.
This has me feeling very existential. Like
Truth
all the thoughts
be told,
going
it
through my head.
surprised me putting down Kronika. Not bad for a scrawny kid from Wicket. Now that it's done, now what? I don't cotton to being Lord of Time, stuck on some island at the edge of nowhere. No, Aaron Black likes being in the thick of it. Seems to me time ought to stay all mashed up. It's been a hell of a ride. Gotta keep these thrills coming. Which means making sure no one gets a chance to screw this up. Once the hourglass gets dumped in the sea of blood, ain't no one ever shaping history again.
So what does that mean, though?
What happens next? Hell if I know.
Isn't that irresponsible?
And that's just the way I like it.
As I gazed upon the hourglass, I knew what I must do. Restore my homeland Adinia to existence. Experiencing Adinia's verdant lands for the first time, I've never felt such joy. But that joy was short-lived. Adinia's traditions, its languages, its culture, all were completely foreign, having been forbidden to me by Shao Kahn. I fit in with my people no better than a Tarkat.
Oh, that's sad.
The truth was hard. Though Adinian by blood, I am not an Adinian.
Oh, that's trippy.
I am an Outworlder.
Yeah.
Not only that, I am Outworld's Khan. I will use ancient Adinian teachings to make myself a better sovereign. With them, I will fulfill my life's mission to better all of Outworld's people, including Adinia.
You'd think that with all that power, you could like kind of manifest the ability to speak those languages and all that.
Well, no, I guess, but I don't know. I watch that and I think of my dad because he is English, but he grew up abroad. He's lived abroad for longer than he's lived in England. And he says that when he goes back, he feels like a tourist, even though outwardly he looks like a regular white English guy.
Sure.
And so I feel like that's kind of similar here, where like this homeland that she dreamed of, you know, that she so wanted to be a part of, really isn't her home.
I feel like there's so much to extract from that ending. We don't have the time to break it all down. Caught me watching a video the other day from that English YouTuber whose name I cannot remember for the life of me, but the video basically asked, if you were to go back in time, how far could you go knowing the English you know now and get along and get by, you know, because at a certain point the English no longer functions, and you're not going to be able to understand what other people are saying because they're using Old English or something, prior to that.
Yeah, when people weren't even really speaking English.
Exactly. We might be in the throes of something and wish for a former time, but if we were to go back there and live out that former time, we would have no connection to most of those people or that culture because it's so foreign to us. It's a very interesting thought.
And no toilets.
Kronika made big promises. Not big enough, though, for what my people suffered. Our hands built the Colosseum, the palace. We were slaves. We served or we died. Every coin I took from Shao Kahn's tributes outworld owed my people. Not that my Naknadan brothers and sisters joined arms to help me, no. Every great treasure I have won myself. I do not wait for handouts. I take what I desire.
Do you give back to your people?
That is why I am now Khan. Netherrealm, Earthrealm, Order Realm, Chaos Realm. I want them all. And I will take them by right of Mortal Kombat.
In her last moments, Kronika tried to tempt me. Spare her, and she would rewrite history. With Jade as my queen, I would rule an eternal Osh-Tech empire that spanned all the realms. But Kronika never understood the Osh-Tech heart. Our lives are cloth, woven from choice and circumstance. Pull even one thread, that cloth is torn asunder and made worthless. Now that I am tasked with keeping time, others beg me to have their histories rewritten. But as long as the hourglass is mine, I will not shape destiny in any one being's favor. History will play out as determined by its players. Let the sands fall where they may.
How do they
I feel like
Sub-Zero
that's as it should be, no?
Raiden dismissed me. They all did, even Kronika. Until I froze the smug looks off all their faces and became the Lin Kuei's new Grandmaster. The Hourglass offers even greater prospects. With it, I'll mold history to carve my name on everyone's lips.
I guess a lot of the women do have like a grudge.
Power has limits. My vision can be upended by people's individual choices. Unlike Kronika, I won't let these imperfections fester until time itself must be restarted. The Lin Kuei will be my time warriors. Traveling through history, they'll get rid of those whose actions threaten my vision. It's
like a Mortal Kombat TVA.
On, no one will overlook my greatness. I'll never be dismissed again.
Some good music.
Kronika's power was mine to share with the tribe. In the new timeline I built, Tarkatans would be slaves no more. We would rule. We easily took Adelia, then Outworld and the Netherrealm. Last, we challenged Earthrealm in Mortal Kombat. Within 1,000 years, all realms fell to Tarkatan blades, and we have not run out of meat since.
All that because you're hungry?
Kronika's endless cycle of rewinding and restarting.
What? You get to play this dude too?
My spirit.
Who's this guy?
But she refused to grant me either freedom or death.
Yeah.
So I took her power to do what she could not. I would create one final, perfect timeline. Then I would rest.
Does it exist?
But the task was more difficult than I imagined. Mortals refused to follow the paths I set for them.
Because of free will.
Timeline after timeline, My frustration grew. I began to understand why Kronika had been driven
It's like
to
playing
madness.
SimCity on a grand scale.
Right.
Perhaps mortals do not need a Lord of Time. I will sacrifice my body and my mantle to re-sculpt the sands so that the hourglass runs itself. And for the first time in all eternity, I can rest in peace.
Poor guy just wanted a vacation. Just needed to
For the
rest.
second time in my life, I kicked the living shit out of an immortal. My prize? The hourglass. Now I can change history.
Hey, that's not the
Talk
scale.
about redonkulous cosmic power.
Sorry, I'm just
But
joking.
despite what you may think about Beverly Hills girls, that is so not my style. The chosen one thing is for the Liu Kangs and Katanas of the world. In the next timeline, all I want is to be a model soldier, to command the next generation of special forces. We were born to defend Earthrealm. Just like the heroes that inspired me. My parents. Okay, so there's one more thing I want. My mom back. Not just for me, but for Dad.
I wonder if they actually
He and
sold
my
that.
mom deserve a happily ever after retirement. We'll never know how different things were the last time around. But we'll be together. A family. And that's all that matters.
How American. Hot dogs and beer.
All I wanted was to fix my life. Now I have the power to fix history. Raiden warns me, I can't fix everything. Change too much and I could lose Vera. Lose Jacqui.
Yep.
But this power is bigger than us. If I think only about helping myself, what kind of officer am I? What kind of man?
Sure.
I've been lucky. My family and I have lived the American dream. But most people who look like me haven't had that chance.
Oh, wow.
I owe it to them to put things right. And I'm not waiting centuries for people to get woke when I've got the power to speed things up.
Oh, what's he do?
I don't get it right the first time, or the second, or even the third. But eventually, I knock it out of the damn park.
Wow.
My family's back. The world's a better place for everyone. Turns out, you can have everything. Anyone who says you can't needs to dream bigger.
That is fascinating that they went there because I remember amongst some of my closest friends, there was some outrage with the Eternals, with Fastos, because it's like they had him crying over Nagasaki or Hiroshima.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude.
Yeah.
Like slavery that you just kind of looked past, that didn't bother you, but this one did.
But yeah, this is cool though.
Yeah, that was a very fascinating ending. I'm glad they went there. You know, it's like if you could turn back the sands of time and do whatever you wanted, that is something that'd be nice to, hit the undo button on.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, and have it in a way where like it
all works
ends
out.
up like working out for everyone.
Yeah. Because if you it's like that butterfly effect. So he had to. I'm glad they addressed it because like they addressed the thing of, well, what if you undo that, then things fall apart. And it's like, no, I kept redoing it until it all went the right way.
He only had to do it 3 times. Kronika like kept trying to sort it out.
I don't think it was 3 times.
No, he said 3.
What? Did he really?
Yeah. Didn't he?
I don't get it right the first time.
Okay, fine. I misheard.
Been on it for a while.
Yeah.
That's not something you can get right 3 tries.
3 tries. I was like, listen,
Yeah.
Kronika, you were trying for like an eternity and you still couldn't figure it out. Clearly, Jax is way smarter than you because he just needed 3 tries. But no, I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong.
Yeah, he's a Mary Sue. Jax is a Mary Sue. I almost said Peggy Sue. I was like, wait, that's not right. Cabal.
Shit sounds cool, right? The power to control time, immortality, destiny. Well, let me tell you, this job sucks.
I wish we could turn the
There's
subtitles
no pay,
on.
I know.
Weekends, and your shift lasts forever.
It sounds like, I know it's not him, but it sounds like Paul Rudd.
Is to turn back time and give it back to Kronika.
Oh, what?
Bet your ass she's grateful, too. I didn't ask her for much. Just a chance to take out anyone who's ever tried to burn me.
Oh, jeez.
Black Dragon was always more of a gig than a brotherhood anyway. Now I get to live large, enjoying the simple life of a well-to-do family man.
Oh.
And if Shao Kahn or Shinnok ever come knocking, my family and I'll take them down. Just like I took down Shinnok's mom.
Wow.
So silly.
Yeah, that was you get some like really deep endings here, and then you just get some kind of silly
I cut
ones.
a lot of deals, but none spiffier than this. I spared Kronika, and she gave up the hourglass. The power to shape time and history to my liking? Oh, fuck yeah. In the having. It was in the getting.
Oh, what's something got skipped?
Yeah.
So, I changed things up one more time. Now, what I want is always just out of reach. I gotta earn it. I score lots of wins, but not always. And when I do win, it's something to savor.
We need a challenge.
Yeah, otherwise it gets boring.
The hourglass was there for the taking, and I could think of only one thing. Dad. Killed. Made a revenant. Resurrected. Since coming back, Dad's never forgotten the things he did for Quan Chi. I thought with the hourglass, I could fix all that. And I can. Dad won't die in that massacre. He'll never be a revenant. But turns out, what my guts told me since the start of all of this is true.
What?
Dad and Mom got together when he was in treatment.
Yeah.
He doesn't suffer.
He needed to...
They don't meet.
Yeah, that was the path.
And I'll never be born. And you know what? I'm good with that.
Wow.
That's sad.
I'm not just
Oh,
protecting
God.
Dad.
That's
I'm protecting
depressing.
everyone he'll risk his life to save.
Oh.
In my shoes, it's what he would do. It's what a Briggs does. I know you'll never hear this, but... Goodbye, Dad.
This is depressing.
Stop.
Okay, that was sad. That actually kind of made me
Yeah.
feel emotional.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? By defeating Kronika, you don't ascend to godhood, right? You're just taking her power.
Well, yeah, but then like that also gives you basically you are ascending to godhood.
Well,
yeah.
okay. So then, doesn't that contradict the whole thing with Liu Kang? Because like some people were coming at me in the comments going, "Well, you know, it's easy. You know, Liu Kang is outside of the rules of time."
They
because...
established that in the beginning with Raiden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, there's still something kind of funky there. I can't quite put my finger on it. Someone said something about how, well, Liu Kang's at the beginning of time. I'm like, okay, maybe that makes sense.
I don't think about it too hard, honestly.
But in any case, with this, if she's ascending to godhood, shouldn't she exist anyway? Even if
She exists outside of time. So I suppose in his timeline, she doesn't exist anymore.
Right, but
because
she should still be able to exist as the keeper of time, right?
Yes, exactly, because that's her job.
Okay.
So she exists outside of it now.
Yeah, all right, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it was the sad ending was just like the familial part just never happens.
That is never a part of her dad's reality, but she gives that to him in order to basically save him from a life of
pain
and trauma.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, would he have made that choice though? Because he loves her so much.
Mm-hmm.
Would he have given up all of those painful experiences to have never met her mom and to have never had her? Was it all worth it? Or, you know, maybe there's a reason why that choice is not in his hands, because he probably would have never chosen.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What the Why? I thought this was fun. What's happening? Jesus.
It's okay.
I feel so
I
bad
held
for
the
her.
power to shape time and destiny, but I was lost. Which Khan should be restored? My lover Kotal, or my loyal friend Kitana?
You know what? You can only choose
I
one.
heard Kotal's voice call out to me.
Follow your heart, Jade.
So I let my heart lead, and it took me to an unexpected place. A faint memory of home and my mother.
Ah.
I restored my parents in Edenia, building a new era without Shao Kahn. And what a happy childhood I enjoyed. But as I matured, I sensed that I was no ordinary child. Kronika's power dwelled within me, calling me to a higher purpose. When I came of age, I ascended to godhood as the protector of Edenia. Armed with the knowledge of past timelines, I challenged Shinnok and Cetrion. Without Kronika's children pitting the realms against each other, all could be at peace, and remain so under my watchful eyes.
Vermin.
This one.
That is the humanoid
This one.
word for the chitin and our fellow insectoids. But with the hourglass, this one can review history and give lie to that myth. Humanoids live to kill. Without a common enemy to fight, they divide, destroy each other.
It's true.
Insectoids live to survive. No conflicts divide us. We build upon each other. Kin does not kill kin.
But sometimes the females
So
kill the
tell
males.
this one, who are the vermin? Time for this one to write a more just history.
What the
One in which
hell?
pesky humanoids finally take the places they deserve. Scrambling beneath our feet.
Wow.
Like Attack on Titan, man. That was a much better group of endings than the other one. I'm glad it had its own video, because to watch all that at the end of the series of all the Mortal Kombat 11 endings
It gets
or
tiring.
story cutscenes, that would have been exhausting.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun, and they put a lot of thought and effort into that. And there's some that were like a lot more meaningful than I had expected them
Yeah.
to be. Especially Jax's daughter. I was just like, wait, what the hell? What am I? Are those tears?
Yeah.
What is this? What the fuck? I didn't sign up for that.
And it's literally like, it's so cool as well, because like we're so invested in the characters and the story at this point that they can just kind of show us like, I guess like a motion picture, a motion poster basically.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's basically a picture with some animation. We're not even watching them like talk or go through it, but like the story's great and the voice acting's great. And we love the characters, so we're immediately invested, and just listening to it, you're like, oh.
Yeah. Her voice acting was quite strong, and I think that's what did it.
Yeah.
I realized that as I was like feeling things. I'm like, oh, I see. This is what ACHARA was talking about earlier with Ronda Rousey. It's
Yeah.
like that makes the difference.
It makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Because like you could feel the emotions in her voice, and so like you empathize with her.
Yeah. I wonder how many of these are supposed to be carried through as canon for the Mortal Kombat story? I mean, obviously, most of them are not, because
yeah.
you know, they didn't, or maybe none of them are supposed to. Be
No, I
carried
don't.
through.
I doubt it.
Because but except for Liu Kang's. Apparently, Kung Lao, the Kung Lao he meets
is not our.
Oh, so you've been reading all the comments too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. So then, you know. I thought that was cool though. You know, as a sort of just a deep dive into the what ifs of all these different characters. So many characters you could play as in this game. It's kind of wild.
They had a lot of like creative endings here and some silly ones, but it was a lot of fun.
Some of it was giving me sort of like a low-key existential crisis kind of thing. Like, what the hell is reality? What is life?
Yeah.
What is morality? What are good and bad other than concepts, fabrications of the human mind? You know, something that is expressed through the human condition so as to keep ourselves from going insane and maintain our gold and our pigs. You know,
pigs,
our farm, our animals.
Yeah,
Don't touch my chicken. That's my chicken, because God will strike you down with and send you to hell when you die if you touch my pigs and my chickens. Don't touch them. Like, it's, you know, it's like, what is morality other than just
it's a code that we collectively agree on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a construct. That's the word I was looking for. It's all a construct. Everything's a construct. And it's
we
all
live in
kind
the
of,
Matrix.
Yeah, it's all kind of meaningless. Like, that's the sort of level it was taking me to. And then the one with Kitana really kind of messed me up. I'm like, whoa, like what? You know, because there are a lot of people who kind of wonder, like, oh my gosh, like what was it like before? It was nicer before, and you have that sort of nostalgic thing for an era that you didn't even really belong to.
Yeah.
But if you were to go back there, it would be meaningless to you. Like, you would have no connection to anyone or anything.
Well, yeah, or even just thinking like, oh, if I could just go back to my country or the place where my parents were from, I would fit in because I look like everyone. But it's not like enough to just look like everyone, right? Like a lot of it has to do with culture and all of that. I went through stuff like that growing up, and so that one kind of hit as well.
It's so bizarre how that little thing could just like kind of make you think and teach you to appreciate your own reality instead of longing for a different one.
Sure, yeah.
It's weird. It just messed me up. It did my head in. The one with Shiva also did my head in a little bit. Like she said how she tried so hard to like create an Eden of some kind, and it just
didn't work for them.
Yeah. And Sindel's hot. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Subscribe, bell icon, all notifications. Please comment and let us know which Mortal Kombat thing you'd like us to look at next. Would really appreciate that. Thanks again. I'm Jacqui. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.